All right, the boys are in the studio. Let's get this going. Good morning.
There's that smile I love every morning.
You all right, Bob? You look...
Well, Linda has left me for 4 days, and I don't know how I'm going to survive.
I saw your grocery grocery trip.
Thank you. I got to make another one today because I left out, ice cream.
So Danny, you know what? And I'm going to tell this to Bob right now. He didn't know this, so I'm going to admit this to him, and we'll see how mad at me he gets. I saw his grocery list also yesterday on Facebook. So when I came in this morning, we book guests in the morning. We get a list of experts and different things, Fox News reporters we can book to come on the show. And I booked a nutritionist, and I did that on purpose. And I'm just breaking this news to Bob right now that I did that on purpose. And with the nutritionist on the phone waiting, Bob had mentioned.
Thank you.
Bob had mentioned his week's worth of shopping, and the nutritionist was like, I didn't hear any salads in there.
I had a salad. There was a salad in the picture.
I thought there was a bag of salad. I saw that.
It
was much smaller than the Doritos, though, but it was there. It was there.
Well, hey, if you open the Doritos bag, that goes down from about that size to about that size. So,
This is true. This is true, for sure.
And my wife actually likes Doritos. She's bringing her mom home, and the little cupcake or whatever they are, they're like the little mini muffins or whatever. They're for her mom because she likes those. So I got that for her. I do go to the store again. Her mom likes to have her coffee with fat-free, half and half, and half and half. So she mixes them together, and I'm like, can't you just get
like
half
quarter
fat?
half?
Right. So I don't know how that works, but so I have to go get some of that. I couldn't find it at the local store. Not that many people have fat-free half and half.
Yeah. I didn't even know that existed. I thought the whole purpose of half and half was it was half the fat.
Right.
I don't know.
So there you go. But yes, my wife is gone. I will not probably eat properly or on time or do the dishes or that all gets done. I pick her up Monday afternoon at 3:00. It'll all be done Monday morning after I get done with you guys. So,
which means
the bed will be made though, because I remember listening to that guy online one time. He says, "Look, if you don't do anything, make your bed, then you've accomplished something in the day."
I have done that. I listened to that too, and I agree with that. So yes, I do make my bed. Well, I try to. The dog is usually in it. So, but yes, I try to do that each day too.
Yeah, I haven't made my bed in about 20 years, so I'm not sure which podcast you're listening to, but obviously I've never heard it. Nor does my wife make our bed in the morning. So yeah, I don't get. So it's supposed to make you feel a sense of accomplishment. A sense of accomplishment for me is getting out of bed in the morning. Never mind making my bed.
He's got the lowest bar ever. Has your wife ever gone away and you've been home alone with the kids?
No, after the disaster of the almost burning the house down and the kids, not getting a diaper change within a day, my wife already said, "No, you're never being home alone by yourself." Yeah. So my wife, however.
Go ahead.
My wife, however, after Adriana was born, our oldest, my wife did decide to go out for a night. And I told my wife, "Hey, don't worry about it. Go out. I'll take care of the baby. It's fine." And let's just say when she got home, there was about 3 or 4 diapers ripped up. And I was outside puffing a cigar while my poor daughter was crying and screaming. So, yeah, it was a disaster.
First time my wife ever went away. First time my wife ever went away, Aaron, and we were, and she went shopping with, I don't know if it was my sister or a friend, whatever, it doesn't matter. First time she ever went away after we had Aaron. And so I'm going to be totally honest with you here. I had to go to the potty. And so I put her on our king size bed, thinking it wouldn't take, not going to take that long. And all of a sudden I heard this, and I mean, I put her in the middle of the bed. I didn't put anything on the sides of it. She wiggled herself right off the bed and fell on the floor. I cried 20 minutes thinking I was the worst parent in the world. The worst parent. And I'm like, oh my God, I'll never do that again. And she survived.
She did. We all do things like that. It only takes once to learn, for sure.
Yeah. This is the same girl almost died in a manure pit.
Yeah, always on the floor. When I used to have to take a shower with the kid, when I had the kids and I was trying to get ready, I did on the floor. They were on the floor, usually in some sort of enclosure, like a little jail or something, if I had to. One time I did get Cooper one of those bouncy things that clipped to the door frame so he could at least see me. He loved that thing. And then, of course, it was, I think put on every dangerous child toy list or whatever, but he loved it anyway.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Just don't even listen to it. I mean, we're the generation that, like I said, my daughter fell in a manure pit. She survived. Almost. She almost didn't. But hey, that happens. We're the overprotective helicopter parents from a generation that never got any. Go outside.
Yeah,
stay what out. You do. Yeah,
stay out. Parents never even knew where we were. As long as we were in when the street lights came on, I think you're pretty good.
Right. I don't want to see you in the house. And my dad, when we were moving cattle one time, and I was a little bit older. And we were moving cattle, and I was on the back of this cow trying to get her through the chute. And I know the morning mare worked on the farm, and she ran me right into a bolt about that long and about that wide and just ripped a big hole in my leg. Oh. And my dad just goes, let me see it. So I showed it to him, and he just put like some pink eye powder on it and said, you're good. Get me another one. That's the kind of generation we were, right? That's who they were. They were tough. They were... it's not like, oh my God, run to the emergency room.
Yeah, no, there was none of that. That didn't even exist. The urgent cares and all of that.
No, not at all. I did run you probably can't see the scar, but I ran a nail falling off a hay wagon from here to here in my hand, right? And it was like gaping open, see the bones, stuff like that. And my mom took me to the emergency room, and she dropped me off, and I'm left-handed, and I walk in and I said, I've ripped my hand open on a nail. And you can see the scar. There's a little scar right there now. And the lady goes, well, I can't let you in unless you sign some paperwork. And I'm like, I'm left-handed. My mom's in the parking lot and she's coming in, but I'm dripping blood. It's soaking through the thing that we wrapped it in. I was probably 16, maybe 17. I don't know. Cocky little kid, right? And the lady's like, I can't let you back there unless you sign for papers. And I'm like, let me see them. And she handed them over, and I dripped blood on them. And I said, there, signed in blood. You're going to get your money. Don't worry about it. So they took me back, and the doctor gave me some lidocaine, right? And, they give you lidocaine to sew it up, and it still hurt. And I'm like, ouch, that still hurts. He goes, well, I gave you a whole syringe of lidocaine. And I'm like, the bottle costs $2.50. I know. My dad's a vet. Get me some more.
Jeez. And they say the inner city's dangerous. Goodness gracious me.
Yeah.
Hey, country boy can't survive.
Oh boy.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
What's happening locally?
Let's see here. Got to pull up my news. Here we go. All right. So legislators, what happens is I don't have the news pulled up because when I'm talking to two of you, I like to see your smiling faces. And so I put the news tab down here, and I'm never ready to pull the news tab up. So here we go. Legislators are getting down to work in Annapolis now that the 2025 Maryland General Assembly is underway. Frederick County Delegate Jesse Pippy says he had other I love his last name, Pippy, says he and other lawmakers are not necessarily excited, but anxious about tackling the issues facing the state. So I think anxious is coming from Jesse. So I think anxious because we're ready to get to work. We got to solve some of these challenges. This is just the beginning. It starts off slow, but it picks up quickly, he says. Pippy says one of the challenges facing legislators is the state's projected $3 billion deficit. Now, real quickly, I thought, remember when we interviewed former Governor Hogan, Danny, He said that when he left, there was a surplus. What the heck happened to all that money if we're in a deficit? Now, he actually said that to us when we were interviewing him.
Yeah.
So what the heck happened to that money in that short a time? But the minority caucuses, both the minority House and the Senate caucuses, had a press conference yesterday, or I should say Wednesday morning, where they outlined the priority, and what they were not willing to do was to raise taxes or increase fees, he says. Pippi is the minority whip in the Maryland General Assembly. And this is actually, I forgot to mention this to Bob today, but I will now. Jesse Pippi will be on the Morning News Express on Monday at around 7 o'clock. So there you go, Bob.
All right. Well, hey, that's a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'll come and talk to us about that. And something that Bob and I were talking about today, a nationwide data breach involving school systems across the country has affected us here in Frederick County Public Schools. The FCPS posted a statement on its website to say the data breach involved PowerSchool, a student information system used by the school systems across the country, including here in Frederick County. The breach occurred between December 19th and the 28th in 2024, when a threat actor gained unauthorized access to school systems around the country, including FCPS. The local school system says it became aware of the threat on January 7th and was told on January 8th that this data breach affected FCPS. FCPS says the compromised data included information about teachers and students. PowerSchool says the data has been deleted and is no longer accessible. It also says the FBI and a cybersecurity firm called CrowdStrike have been called in to investigate. CrowdStrike says none of the data has been found on the dark web, but it will continue to monitor those sites. Now, my kids and our family have used that system before, and basically, it's what it is. That's how you get your information from the school system. Teachers can speak to you, and you can speak to teachers, and kids can get their work. So PowerSchool, they've used that for a couple years now in FCPS schools. I don't know. Have your kids used that, Danny, or is that fairly recently new thing?
Yeah, I don't. I tell you, every year that they tried to get me to log into a new system, I said, you know what, kids, you're old enough. You got to figure this out.
Yeah,
It's
they're nice.
too much.
Yeah,
I always complain because back when my kids went to school, you had to hammer and chisel it out on a rock. No, but they would give you 3 different cards for each kid that you had to fill out, but they were all the same card. I'm like, can't you guys put this in some type of a database? But
well, and that's the other thing is it's so frustrating that they the places where we should be using technology, we're not using it. And when they implement technology, it's so clunky and horrible that it's just not, intuitive. And you've got thousands of parents trying to be proactive in their kids' school. And even when you are, the teachers aren't even using it actively. So then it's a waste of everybody's time. So
Yep.
it's just, I don't know what the solution is there, but.
And Bob, listen, nobody's going to believe that you guys used the stones and all that stuff when you were growing up. Technology was better when you guys went to school. You guys had that little pen with the feather on it that you dipped into the ink when you fill things out.
Yeah,
so
quill.
There you go. See?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. All
absolutely.
Right.
And then we wrote a little note, put it on our carrier pigeon, and sent it on its way. So, yeah.
And finally, actually, Bob was talking about this yesterday. He was driving down a highway, and you could tell a story, obviously, but a vehicle, I guess, was on fire and exploded right next to you, right, Bob? You were saying?
Yeah, I was coming home from taking Linda to the airport, and I saw this big black cloud, and as I passed it, there was it looked like a brand new Ford, which is interesting because Dave Serio talked about Fords being recalled with a fuel pump problem, and it was fully engulfed in flames, pulling a trailer with 2 propane tanks on the front of it, and there was no fire apparatus. Everybody just driving by it, and people standing there. I guess the guy who owned the truck was just standing there watching it go up in flames. And as I drove past it, you could see fire shoot out, and it was just like this big. And I'm like, I gotta go. Wow. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Time to leave. And then I'm like, I could use a new truck. Could I catch mine on fire somehow? Something like that. Yeah.
But I say that to say this: burning FedEx truck kept Frederick County Fire and Rescue crews busy Thursday morning. The Frederick Scanner Facebook page says units were dispatched to West Patrick Street at Old Camp Road just after 10:30, which is right around the corner from our radio station, Thursday morning, and found the truck fully engulfed in flames. The fire was brought under control about 13 minutes later. The blaze was declared out just before 11 a.m. No injuries, thank God, were reported. A hazmat crew was sent to the scenes due to a leaking fuel tank. Traffic in the area was affected by firefighting operations. And you can head to our WFMD Facebook page to see a link more on that story. And actually, also another program note: we're going to have Chief Frederick County Fire and Rescue Chief Tom Coe is going to be joining us Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. to kind of talk about what's going on in California, his ideas of what could have been done differently, and locally what we could do, God forbid, if something like that ever happens around here. And we'll probably just ask him about that FedEx truck too. So he'll be on Tuesday.
Yeah, that I tell you, those fires in California,
It's just horrible.
and it keeps going, and they're just a lot of them are not even at all contained, and yeah, it's just horrible.
And they think that one may have been an arson, but that's just a speculation out there. Fire does not care whether you're a Hollywood star or the guy who cleans the Hollywood stars.
That's right.
It does not care. People who they've lost. I've heard people lost, music that was written, Dick Van Dyke's house, Billy Crystal's house, Paris Hilton's house. I mean, there's so many stars that have been just devastated by this, but they have the money to rebuild. And, but still, possessions are possessions, and things that you have, you loved in your life it's all gone. Even though people, when that kind of stuff happens, goes, well, it's just stuff. Well, it's important stuff to people. And, it's really going to be tough on people trying to rebuild that.
And before I get to weather, I just want to say, if you head to one of the most amazing videos I've seen so far this morning, we were talking about CNN. If you head to CNN.com, you'll see a video of a helicopter going over the fire, dropping water. But it gives you really a firsthand look without actually being there of how devastating it is. So, I tell your viewers, Danny, and if you get a chance to go to CNN.com, if it's still up there, that video is it's mind-boggling. It looks like hell. I mean, literally, it looks like hell with all that fire and doomsday. So, getting the weather real quick. Take a look at your TGIF forecast today. Going to be a high of 33, mix of clouds and sun during the morning. We'll give way to clouds, cloudy skies this afternoon. Tonight, snow showers early with the steadier snow developing late. Going to get down to a low of 24. I'm hearing less than a half an inch accumulation. Of course, depends on where you live in the 4-state region. Take a look at your weekend forecast. Looks like a high of 36 on Saturday. Cloudy skies early, become partly cloudy later in the day. And then Saturday night, low of 24, mostly clear skies. And then taking a look at your Sunday, mainly sunny with a high of 39. Normally, I'd be complaining with a high of 39, but as cold as it's been, I'm actually looking forward to a high of 39 and sunny skies. Yeah, you go, right? Heat wave. 21 Sunday night, mostly clear skies. And the legendary WFMD morning mayor, Bob Miller, with the sports.
Well, it looked like the Catholics were praying hard last night. Notre Dame defeated
Penn State. We always
do,
Bob. We always do.
27-24, Mitch Jeter's 41-yard field goal. 7 seconds left in college football playoff semifinal at the Capital One Orange Bowl Thursday night. The number 7 Fighting Irish will play the winner of tonight's other semifinal game between Texas and Ohio State at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic in January 20th. And that's going to be a great game. No matter who's in it, I think this is just a great thing for college football. Boys basketball yesterday. High school action, Tuscarora over Manchester Valley, 59-37. Kevin Bukla's 18 points led the way. St. John's over Chapelgate, 61-56. Aaron Schofner, I hope I say that right, tied with teammate Mamadou Sacco for the game-high 15 points. On the ladies' side, girls basketball, Urbana Downs TJ, 60-34. Notre Dame Prep over St. John's Catholic Prep, 59-53. Mount St. Mary's senior leading scorer Joe Raffalo buried a three-pointer with 8 minutes left to help the Mountaineers to a 9-point win over Manhattan. And, of course, speaking of those fires, the NFL has moved the playoff game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings out of Southern California on Thursday to Glendale, Arizona, where the Arizona Cardinals will play. It's about 400 miles east of the Rams home, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. But yeah, that's going to be. I mean, when you think you got the home advantage, and now you don't. But I think more people are thinking about what's going on there in California than what's going to go on in the football field. Maybe give them a little bit of an escape for a couple hours.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, look, I mean, I think that was a smart move, and they've got enough to deal with. They can't deal with all that additional traffic and stuff around the
Yeah.
stadium. So yeah, they'll just it'll be a no one's field advantage. So we'll see.
And speaking of Catholics, this Catholic, I pray for Notre Dame wins. It seems to happen. But when this Catholic prays for Jets wins, well, I don't know. It doesn't seem to happen.
The Jets aren't a Catholic institution.
Well, I guess maybe that's what it is, Bob.
Yeah, maybe that's it. All right. Well, happy Friday to you both. Have a great weekend. I'll see you a little bit later. And yeah,
I'm gonna go curl up in the corner because my wife's not here.
We hope you survive.
me and Danny have some discussing to do today, possibly how to embarrass myself even further for the children.
Oh yeah, we are always looking for ways for you to do that.
Do you have a movie picked out? I mean, I know there's a lot of football this weekend.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess you don't care about the kids of Frederick, but that's okay.
No. I have two movies picked out. One is going to be again Grease. And I'm kind of thinking of maybe Field of Dreams.
Oh, okay. Two good movies.
Yeah.
Well, we think they're good movies. Who knows? You might come out thinking they're
not. Listen, and let me just say this, okay? Well, I hate to just throw his name out there without him defending himself, but a certain individual name, well, maybe I shouldn't say his name, but county commissioner agreed with me, was not a fan of Shawshank Redemption. So there you go. I'm not the only one. Even our powers that be in Frederick County agree with me. So there you are.
Well, it's okay. I don't think Grease or Field of Dreams can be classified as intellectual movies. So I think you're okay.
Right?
That's good. Then I'll understand it.
Build it and they will come.
Yes, that's right.
Yep,
all right.
You go.
Have a great weekend. We can't wait to hear the updates next week. We'll see you guys then.
Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what he thinks about those. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Then we're back with the highlight of all the events. We've got Chiro Corner, Straight Talk with the team from Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic, and Sherry from Nothing Bundt Cakes will be on the show right after.